Greetings, everybody. Welcome here to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. It's another colder, but not such a bad day here in November. We're getting down to the end. Last day of the month, right? November's actually been a pretty warm month by November standards here in Canada. I don't think we've seen more than a few flakes of snow at any given time. But you know how it is. Winter's coming. We could sometimes get similar weather in December as we got in November. But then January and February rolls around. 2 months I would rather be elsewhere, but I'm stuck here. So today we are going to do the end of the month. The end of the month albums that I've bought, or I call it the album hauls. I've got only 8, but you know what they say, 8 is enough, right? So I actually had planned to get some more last weekend, but the plans just didn't end up coming to fruition. But so we got 8, and they're all pretty good. I'm quite happy. I spent more than I had ever intended to spend, but I went in there with the idea to buy 2 albums and came out with 8. It's about normal with me. That's the problem, you know. I don't think I could ever work in a record store because I would spend my entire paycheck in there. It would be too hard, I think. You know, lead us not into temptation, as they say. Okay, so we're going to talk about these albums that I got for the album haul. There's 8 of them. We're going to do them. Usually I do them progressive rock first, but there's not as many progressive rocks. So we're going to start at the other end of the spectrum and do the albums that I got that are heavy metal and hard rock. So the first one we'll do, because it's kind of borderline heavy metal, is this one. Uriah Heep's Chaos and Order, still in the packaging. This one cost me a pretty penny, but it's a good album. And this is one of the albums in contention for my album of the year, and so I had to have it for that reason. It's a nice book-shaped thing. I haven't opened it yet. I'm not going to. It has this little patch that you can sew on your coat or wherever you want to put it. And so don't want to open it just yet until I figure out where I might want to put that patch, or if I want to put it anywhere. Who knows? Anyways, Uriah Heep's Chaos and Order, great album. It came out this year. They're actually one of the bands. There's about a half a dozen of them that are older bands, like iconic bands from like the early 70s and late 60s. That this one's actually from 69. That are producing as good or better material than they've ever produced. This album is among my favorite of their albums. So Uriah Heep's Chaos and Order. Yeah, nice album. How many tracks on this? I don't even know. Let me see. I know I did a video on it. If you want to watch it, it's on What's New. It's one of the videos on there. You can go back through the What's New catalog and you'll find it if you want to watch what I... Yeah, so there's actually 12 tracks on this album, and most of them are fairly lengthy, but this is a common thing with... It does say from 2022, but I know I did the review on it and it came out this year, so it was probably originally supposed to come out in 22, but there was probably delays by Jay Rustin. Yeah, so anyways, check it out. Really good album. The next album up is another really good album, also new from this year. Another album that's going to be competing for that spot at the top of the heap. And this one I've listened to quite a bit now. The Rolling Stones' Hackney Diamonds. I love the album cover. The kind of overall up-to-date, kind of clear feeling of the album. Good songs. A lot of really good songs here. I know that some people have commented about the kind of manipulating of the noises on here by electronic means. I get that. But, I mean, the guy's 80 years old. I mean... to expect him to sound like he did when he was in his 20s is kind of ridiculous, I think. But I think he sounds great. I think Mick Jagger sounds great. I think Ronnie Wood is great on this album. I think the riffing is great. Yeah, just a fantastic album. I think it's going to be in contention anyways. And while I was there, I decided that the Stones needed some more love. So I got this one, which is one of the ones I want to get. Eventually, I'll try to have them all, but I've got about 8 now, and this one was one of the ones. It was on sale. Well, it wasn't on sale. It was only $9 though. So I thought, I've always liked the covers, both the back and the front. Kind of different. There's some really good stuff on here. There's some lame stuff too, but there's some good stuff. Overall, not a bad album. Next up was an album I used this week, and I needed to get it because I wanted to use it, and I also really like it. It's a fantastic album. It's one I've been looking to for a long time. They actually had one. It was a little bit pricey, but considering that it's harder to find than I would have thought, considering there was over 7 million copies made, you'd think there'd be some around. But yeah, so I got it. It cost me a little bit, but it was well worth it. I love this album. I think it's a great album. Get the Knack, buy the Knack, by the way. I didn't say that. This one was kind of a last minute thing when I was leaving the store. I thought, you know what, I'm going to get this just to complete my collection. I know it's a studio album by them, but it's all covers by these guys. And that's Rush's Feedback album. I think there's 8 tracks on here. Yeah, there's 8 tracks. I've listened to this. I'm always amazed at how versatile Alex Lifeson is on guitar. He plays these songs like he wrote them himself. That's how good he is. He's so fantastic. Anyways, I'm not a big fan of covers, as you know. There are some bands that do covers better than others, Van Halen and The Who being amongst 2 of them. This is not bad, though, for a cover album. It's not something I'll probably listen to too much, but every once in a while I'll feel like listening to it, and I will. Anyways, Feedback by Rush. What year was this released, by the way? Let me see. I can't see anything. That's the problem with the modern day album covers. They don't tell you the release year or anything. Anyways, nice inside cover too. Look at that, eh? 3 guys. I don't know what that's. That looks like a lava lamp to me that's in the background that they've blown up and stood on a hill in front of it. That's what it looks like. Yeah, excellent. Listened to it on the way home when I got it. I liked it. Next up, it's an album I've wanted for a while. As being a bit of a person that likes to have everything by a group. Once I decide I like their music, even the bad stuff that I don't really like, I still want to have it. And we're going to go with this album, the White Album by the Beatles. Nice shot of it here. Maybe you can see. Yeah, not really much to the cover or anything, just the Beatles and the apple on there. But the inside is really good. Nice shot of all 4 of the guys. Sorry, we can't get them all at once, so we'll just do a slide. Although maybe we can. There we are. John, Paul, George, and Ringo. Yep. Yeah, excellent inside album. All the Beatle albums, their releases, the modern up-to-date releases are really well put together. They've got, this is a 2 CD thing, as most people know who follow the White Album. Comes with this book, or actually I think this may be a poster. Just let me see if I can get her open here. Yeah, I think it's a poster. Yeah, this one's a poster, but it has the lyrics for the songs on one side and there's a poster on the other side. Excellent. Love it. It's got all the lyrics on the back side here. Can't really see them too well, but I can't see them even looking at it because it's so tiny. Oh my God. I'm getting too old, I have to say. I am getting too old. And then it also has a booklet. That's what I thought. That was also a booklet, but it isn't. The booklet is at the other end under John here. Let's see if we can get it out. Well, at least maybe. Oh, no, I was wrong. It's not a book. Well, it is a booklet. There it is. It's kind of a weird booklet, though. So it's just the Beatles cover, like their album, and it's got all kinds of different stuff inside. Picture of George there, and I guess the lyrics are also in here, too. Another shot of them. Shot of John. There's a nice shot of the 4 of them. Paul McCartney's face has got a staple through it. This one I like quite a bit, very psychedelic. Ringo. You know, just some historical notes about the group, talking about the album, recording notes about the group, talking about the album. This album, of course, was produced by George Martin. There it is, another shot of them. Yeah, so an interesting book. I like the modern CDs in the kind of format that they have for that reason. And the box sets probably are even better, and eventually I'll get into collecting those as well. Just because they give you so much extra stuff. Not all of them, so you got to really be picky about what you buy. But this one was a good buy. I paid $18 for this. It's got a lot of stuff in it though, so sometimes I could have got the other white album version, which more the original version was like $12, but I decided to go for that one. It also comes with a sleeve, as you see, protected even more, which I like because it's going to have to go on the oversized shelf, which is that wooden one back there, because they just won't fit into the slots behind me. The next album up, now we got two more albums that are both progressive rock albums. Remember the Future. This is an album I've long wanted to have. It's the first three Nectar albums to me, based on my following of the group over the past 3 years, are the three essential albums. You gotta have them. So this is the third one. I have the first two already. I mean, the other stuff's not bad either, but I think these are the essential ones. Their albums are always like Eloy's in a lot of ways. Very colorful, lots of stuff on them. So you got this inside the two CDs. You've got a little bit of writing on one side right here where my finger is. And you got a picture of the band here performing live on the other side. On the outside cover, of course, a piece of it flew away. You have the album cover, which is this one. Oh, sorry. This one. The one I'm tapping now. And then you have the back of the album, which is the one I'm tapping now, which has all the lyrics. Now, I believe this has... I just seen it. Now I don't see. Oh, here it is. So this one has... the first disc has Remember the Future Part 1 and then Remember the Future Part 2, which is basically the whole album. I think it was a double album originally, if I'm not correct. Somebody correct me, but I think it was a double album. And then you have a bonus material, which is basically radio edits for the radio, of course, songs that they played on the album that they released for the radio, and then the Boston tapes, which I'm not really sure what that's about. I guess there's probably an explanation of it, because it comes with this, which I think is probably a poster. I think this is no, it isn't. It's a book. Just a book talking about this album in particular. There's a nice shot of the cover. Yeah, they've got some really wild landscapes. Among my favorite album covers come from these guys. This one I like quite a bit. And so that flew out of the book, but I know there's another. Nope, I'm wrong. There's just the one. It basically just talks about the album itself and what's on it and why. Hopefully it'll talk about the Boston tapes, because I'm not familiar with that, what that means. So for me, it's a big learning curve. This is a band that I like a lot. And they were one of the first bands that I started to get into when I started this channel. Bands that I had known about but had never gotten into. This was one of them. The next band up, the next album up is another band that I'd known about but hadn't gotten into. And this is the beginning for me. This album was given to me on, I believe it was Ben's Album Challenge. It may have actually been in the... one of the Prog Wars. Could have been. I'm not sure which one. The other war or the Prog War. One of the two. Anyways, you've got this album, Caravan, in the Land of Grey and Pink. Many people feel... I'm going on the suggestion that people made to me that this is their best album. I haven't listened to any of their other stuff yet, but I am familiar with this album. I do like it. So when I saw it, $11, it kind of... maybe a little bit more than I wanted to spend on it, but you know, I was on the roll, so I decided to keep going. So this has all the tracks from the original album plus bonus tracks. Like I think there's like 7 or 8, 1, 2, 3, 4 bonus tracks, 5 bonus tracks on this, and yeah. This album was released in '71, by the way. It's quite an intricate cover, too. I don't know if you can really see it. You can tell that somebody spent an age drawing this thing. It almost looks... I don't know if any of you guys feel this way. This is almost a intricate Pink Panther cover. Like, because it's so pink. It's got all that kind of Stone Age stuff on it, but it's more detailed than you would ever get on a Pink Panther cover. Pink Panther being the cartoon, that is. Yeah, really good. So I'm looking forward to this. On the inside, of course, you have the album, which is pink as well. Everything's pink about this album. And you got this kind of, on the inside cover, you've got this kind of castle up on the hill. Really, so I would love to blow this up and just put it on the wall. I wonder if that's possible to get a blown up cover of this. Anybody knows that if they sell that cover as like a poster, I would love to have it. It's so good. So, and it gives all your information, your normal book, all your information about the songs, the credits, the lyrics, all that stuff, and about the history, a little bit of the history of the band throughout it. Nice picture there of them walking. I believe this is a 6-man band too, if I'm correct. If I'm not, let me know. Yeah, so here's a nice shot of the entire cover and album without the protective cover on it. So you can see it's such a detailed landscape. Imagine if a place like this existed. I don't even know who did the cover on this anyways. Doesn't say. I don't see it anywhere. That's easy. Oh, wait. Original album design and art director Joe McGillicuddy. The cover illustration by Anne Marie Anderson. So, does anybody know, is this the only album that she ever did? I wonder. I can't imagine it would be. It's such an intricate cover. I absolutely love it. Anyways, let me know if she's done, if anybody knows if she's done other album covers. Maybe she did more for them. I haven't looked at their discography too closely, but I do know I was given this, and once I got it, I saw it, I had to have it. I've got a couple of other albums I wanted to get that I was going to get today, but it just didn't materialize because I ended up not going. So anyways, there you have it. Those are the 8 albums that I bought this month. Sorry, something on the screen there. I think this will be an enjoyable group of albums. One of the better groups that I've bought in recent months. And I'm looking forward to it. I've already listened to some of them already. I've already listened to the Rush one and the Knack one and the both Stones albums. The Uriah Heep, and probably as soon as I figure out where I'm going to put that patch, I'm probably going to open and listen to it because I think it's going to be right up there for when I do my top 10 releases for the year. My 10 favorite albums that came out in 2023 when I do that video, which will probably be at the end of the year on favorites. I think that that's definitely going to be one of those albums that's going to be in that mix. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any comments about any of the albums, or you want to answer any of those questions I put out there, please do so in the comment section below. Please hit the like button and the subscription button. All these things help me. And if you want to be notified of this kind of content, please hit the bell at the top there, and you'll get notification of that when it happens. So I hope you have a good day, and we will see you next month, December, on new purchases or album hauls, if you want to call it that. Take care. Bye.